mean, you have to enjoy yourself. And beating your truck is part of having fun.
Just the people, it's just a good, fun time. Back in Connecticut, we don't have anything like this.
While the tough trucks are setting up for the next run, let's go to Mitch Snyder for his tech tip.
The best way to tow any vehicle is with the drive wheels off the ground. However, if that's not possible, there are safe ways to tow with the drive wheels on the ground. In most cases, these basic precautions should be outlined in your owner's manual. If the information is not there, call the dealer and find out. Try to make sure the tow truck company you call has a tow manual with the appropriate information for your vehicle. If you don't have access to the manual or can't get the facts, have the tow truck driver mark the drive line for phase and then remove it completely from under the truck. Don't just tie it up so that it's out of the way. If you can't disconnect the drive line, don't get creative or assume. Put your truck on dollies or a flatbed. Whatever it costs, it will probably be less than a new transmission or a new transfer case. If you are going to tow your truck backwards, make sure the steering wheel is tied securely with an appropriate restraint. Never, never rely on the ignition lock. And make sure the tow truck operator uses safety chains. It's the law here in California, but it may not be the law where you are. If you don't know who to call, Kevin Cook, manager of Dave's Club Service here in Simi Valley, suggests the following helpful tips. Try the people who use and need tow trucks on a regular basis. Call the Automobile Club, the local police department, car dealerships, or a quality auto repair shop in your area. Any one or all of these helpful tips should keep the anxiety and the possible expense of towing damage to a minimum.
Welcome back to Truckin USA. The Off-Road Jamboree Summer Nationals is a popular event for the media, too. You'll see some of the best trucks here featured in future issues of Off-Road magazine. Now let's go to the other side of the fairgrounds for the thrills and spills of the amateur class mud racing. Mud runs do get a little messy, but they sure are fun to watch. And you can watch a lot more of it right here, along with some great monster truck action every weekend with Army Armstrong on Truck and Tractor Power on TNN. Now let's go to Jim Bridges with his report.
We're always looking for ways to have our trucks and our dollars go as far as we can. By now you probably know that the best way to prolong the life of your vehicle is with preventive maintenance. That's especially important for older, high-mileage trucks like this guy here, where normal wear and tear can rob you of performance and also leave you stop cold. Well, there are some easy ways to get that extra power and the extra miles that you're looking for. That's why we've come to Burns Automotive here in Reseda, California, to meet with master mechanic Steve Burns. Hey, Steve, thanks for having us out.
Thanks for coming out.
You know, what happens as our engines get older?
Well, from the moment we began driving our new cars, they began to deteriorate. Heat and friction combine to slowly damage an engine's interior, while acid and rust caused by electrolytic action damage our radiators and cooling systems.
None of which sounds very healthy.
No.
Of course, the best way to prevent that from happening is with a regular maintenance schedule. What do you suggest?
Well, with engines, I recommend changing oil and filter at least every 3,000 miles. And in the cooling systems, I recommend flushing the radiators and the use of antifreeze. That's the smartest advice. Okay. But even with the best maintenance program, our engines are going to wear. It's going to rob you of power and performance. And in the case of a damaged radiator, that's going to leave you stranded.
Usually on a hot day with your mother-in-law and some screaming kids in the car as well. Well, we talked about a little bit of what's happening. Can you show us what actually occurs in an engine?
Sure. I've got an engine block set up over here. Let's go take a look at it. Jim, here's an older Ford engine that's going to be a good candidate for rebuilding.
Now, with everything dismantled out of the way, we can get a good look at some of the scratches and nicks that you were talking about on the inside of the cylinder wall here. And although these scratches look small, they can cause some big problems.
Oh, exactly.
we have extremely tight tolerances on engines. And these fine, small scratches and nicks you're looking at, and also fine scratches and nicks that occur in our pistons and rings, these cause a condition known as engine blow-by. Basically what this is exhaust gases are being forced down past our rings and into our crankcase. So rather than our power getting to our drivetrain, it's simply going out the exhaust in a puff of smoke.
Yeah, inefficient combustion and that telltale sign of smoke can tell you need some engine work. You need to see a professional like you.
That's right.
What do you do with an engine rebuild?
Well, basically what we do is we either hone or bore out the cylinders to produce a nice smooth finish, and we install new pistons and rings to get the best performance we can out of our engines.
Well, that's one solution, but it can end up being a bit expensive. What's another way?
Well, another solution is an engine oil additive called Engine Restore and Lubricant. Engine Restore is added directly to the engine crankcase, just like any other motor oil, but it's very different. Engine Restore has a patented formula of microscopic CSL particles. These particles are so fine they pass right through your engine oil filter and bond themselves directly to cylinder wall scratches and grooves, dramatically increasing compression.
Well, increased compression, that's what we're looking for to regain that lost power. Basically, what you're doing is repairing the engine internally as you drive.
Right. The people at Restore have done numerous studies that show a dramatic increase in compression. This relates directly to power, performance, and fuel economy.
About how often would you suggest adding it?
Well, their recommendation, especially on older vehicles, 50,000 miles and up, is to add 1 can of Engine Restore every time you change your oil and filter.
Well, that takes care of engine problems, but what about the cooling system problems we were talking about earlier?
Well, as I mentioned, routine flushing and the use of antifreeze is very important in keeping a cooling system's maintenance up. But just like the cylinder walls, eventually a cooling system is going to become damaged.
Then what happens?
Well, then you call a tow truck.
Then you call a tow truck, that's
Let's
right.
go take a look at this radiator core that's had many years of use. Jim, take a look at the tubes in this radiator. You see the heavy buildup of corrosion.
Oh, quite a buildup there, yeah.
This is very typical of a radiator that's had many years of use. Now, eventually, this radiator is either going to leak, or because the tubes are getting plugged, it's going to overheat and shut down the cooling system.
Well, we don't want that happening with our rig. What's the solution here?
Well, the smart solution is a good maintenance program by using a radiator protector sealer like Radiator Restore. Radiator Restore Sealer and Conditioner is made from an environmentally safe, natural vegetable fiber. It acts as an anti-corrosive, anti-foaming agent that helps condition your cooling system and cleans it as you drive. But most importantly, it responds to leaks. Therefore, Radiator Restore can instantly seal leaks in your radiator due to holes or cracks and keep you going.
So Restore not only helps to condition an engine, but it also helps to prevent system failure as well.
That's right, Jim. And it sure is easy to use. Simply pour a can directly in your radiator every time you change your antifreeze. It's that easy.
Well, we like things that are easy. We also got some easy information today, but basically I guess the thing I learned the most is that no matter how well you maintain your engine, you still have to expect some normal wear and tear through mileage.
That's right. And short of periodically rebuilding your engine or replacing your radiator, the next best thing is smart preventative maintenance, which includes installing a can of Engine Restore and Lubricant in your crankcase or a Radiator Restore in your radiator.
Well, thanks so much for showing us what happens when our trucks get a little older and also how to keep our trucks running a little bit longer. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for having us out, Steve. Now it's time to get back to my buddy Ed Bruce at the Off-Road Jamboree.
Thanks, Jim. Hey, this is fun. You know, some of these tough trucks really catch some good air. The action is far from over, so you stay with us for more tough truck excitement right here on Truckin USA.
Live NASCAR action on TNN Motorsports. It doesn't get any closer.
Oh, yeah? Watch this.
Miller Genuine Draft presents the Win with a Driver sweepstakes.
Check it out.
You could win a trip for two to one of these Winston Cup races covered live by TNN Motorsports.
Be part of the action.
Meet Rusty Wallace. Tour the pits with the Penske Miller Genuine Draft race team. And if Rusty wins the race, you win $5,000. To enter, send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to this address. And remember, there's 7 races, so you've got 7 chances to win. Get your entry in by May 5th and tune in to race day, May 14th, to find out if you're going to the Winston Select. If you don't win this time, your entry is still eligible for the next drawing.
See you at the track.
Brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, Split Fire Spark Plugs, and Purolator.
Welcome back to Truckin USA, here at the fairgrounds in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. By the time the day is over 30 tough trucks will have competed against each other. Now, for those of you who grew up in my generation and understand the old meaning, here's another tough truck. It's our viewer's truck of the week. Butch Pilgrim and his daughter Tracy of LaPorte, Colorado sent us these photos of her 1955 Ford F-100 pickup truck. The father-daughter team customized it by chopping the cab 3 inches, then lowered the suspension 2 inches. To give it a streamlined aerodynamic look, they removed all the exterior door handles and have Frenched the antenna, the front headlights, and rear taillights. With additions like the handmade bumpers, fully customized interior, and polished aluminum bed floor, it's definitely worthy of the honor as viewer's truck of the week. Tracy and Butch, thanks for sharing your truck with us. We'll be sending you a Truckin USA t-shirt right away. Be sure and wash it, though. It's kind of hot and humid here today. Hey, I've had a great time at the Jamboree this weekend. If there's a special events performance series weekend near you, in your area, be sure and check out the fun for yourself. And if you want to see more of the action from this week's event, be sure and watch Truckin' Tractor Power with my buddy Army Armstrong. For everybody here at Truckin' USA, I'm Ed Bruce. Have a good day.
If you have any questions about today's show, you can call toll-free 1-800-832-7469. Now here's something of interest for automotive enthusiasts.
What could follow the 3 volumes of Diamond P's and They Walked Away series? A 4th, and They Walked Away 4, like its predecessors, captures the most perilous moments in recent motorsports history. Unmerciful doubles, unbelievable flips, falls, and fires, and in every harrowing incident, the driver beats the odds. Once again, man and machine test their mettle through mayhem in over a dozen motorsports disciplines. You can't find this video in stores. You can't rent it. And anyone who has it won't let you beg, borrow, or steal it. Then how do you get your own copy of And They Walked Away 4? Call 1-800-652-8686 or send $24.95 plus $4 shipping and handling to the address on your screen. 1-800-652-8686 or charge it on your Visa, MasterCard, or Discover card. Call 1-800-652-8686. 1-800-652-8686 or charge it on your Visa, MasterCard, or Discover card.